No one knows their communities like local councils. And communities are telling us right across New South Wales how affordable housing is such an important issue for them. So Landcom is working with local councils to really optimise and to try and develop affordable housing on their land.
Vacant since the 1990s when this subdivision was created. It's designed residential. It just presents itself as delivering some affordable housing.
Housing and the availability of affordable housing is a basic human right. Affordability, both in terms of purchasing new housing and rental of housing, is quite an issue throughout all of regional New South Wales. It is becoming more and more challenging for people to both purchase housing or indeed renting housing, whether it was existing housing in the suburbs or housing within central areas.
It's very critical at the moment. There's been a huge impact from a housing perspective along the coast, from Tweed down through to Byron and Ballina, and transition west to Lismore. Look, it's pushing the communities to an extreme. You're getting sectors of the community that haven't dealt with this type of issue previously.
We're in a housing crisis. We have the full, gamut of challenges at the moment with homelessness. There's a whole heap of people at various ages, various employments, all looking for housing. And it makes it really, really difficult because you've got businesses locally buying properties to house workers. It's really challenging and it impacts the business, it impacts the economy, and then it impacts community.
Affordable housing at the moment is one of the key issues for the region, and it's important to find some locally driven solutions in partnership with organisations like Landcom. We've found that Landcom walk the talk. They actually do form strong partnerships with the local communities, with the local councils to deliver those local solutions.
We know that housing is a critical issue for people throughout New South Wales. And when we go to the regions, the provision of housing for people, or lack of it, can actually be an economic handbrake, one that we need to address.
So what we increasingly find is with affordable housing, it generally is market failure. That is, the market doesn't want to deliver it. So it is of a desperate need, and Landcom is well placed to step in and fulfil that need.
It's really about the advice, advocacy and delivery in terms of our experience and the spectrum of what Landcom has to offer. Today we're here with Byron Shire Council to explore opportunities to deliver some much needed affordable housing in the Shire.
It's very encouraging today that we're actually talking about solutions on the ground, action, delivery of homes, as opposed to talking about the problem. We're having a good chat about council assets and how Landcom can partner with us to deliver housing affordability for our community.
One of the things we've been exploring is tipping the delivery of affordable housing on its head a bit. And we did that at our project at Queenscliff, where we're working directly with a community housing provider partner to deliver some affordable housing.
It's early days, but having a look at those demonstration projects like Queenscliff gives us, a window into what's possible where we are. And something like that model seems replicable in our community. We have similar issues, in that ageing population, particularly of women that really need a place to call home.
I think Landcom working with councils and then working with the community housing sector, I see it as a perfect partnership, because if the local councils have got land that Landcom can bring their skills to develop, they will need a registered community housing provider to actually manage those properties once they're built on behalf of the councils. And we've been involved from the beginning because we're doing stuff like what we've got behind us. But I see the opportunity with Landcom and the councils to actually provide more affordable housing that we could manage as a registered community housing provider.
One of the objectives of Landcom is to help that sector grow and actually become more demonstrative in delivering affordable housing. And in our conversations with CHPs and the sector more wholly, we try to understand what their limitations are and how we can help them. So we feel that those types of case studies are essential for us then to go and forge these partnerships, hopefully with other councils too in the future.
This is very early days for Landcom working in the regions, especially with councils and community housing providers. But one thing I do know is that we share so many objectives that it stands to reason that we will find a way to help deliver more affordable housing
working in close partnership with local government and community housing providers in the regions.
For us, it's about bringing all this knowledge, the skills, expertise, resources, and this wonderful commitment that we're really starting to find across a range of government agencies, the community housing provider sector, and pooling all of these resources together to really optimise the level of affordable housing. So it's just not one person's responsibility, it's not one person's role to do it. Everyone has a role to play, and what our role is at Landcom is to try and facilitate those discussions and bring together these partnerships of collaboration in delivering more affordable housing.